Then we'll all come back into the main room where we are right now. You'll hear from our second group of innovators. Then we're going to break out into rooms. And once again, you'll have the opportunity to ask them questions. You also have the ability from now until the end of this session to give our innovators feedback online. So I just put a link in the chat, and that's your ability to write some comments, give some feedback. If you didn't get a chance to interact with the innovators during one of the sessions, feel free to leave your contact information so they can follow up with you after. But I think we're ready to get our first group of innovators off and pitching. So if I can welcome to the virtual stage, Neoth and Catherine Grill. What she'll do is she will share her presentation, and they are a student-empowered ed tech company. And Catherine, whenever you're ready, you can take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine Grill, the CEO of Neoth. High school and college students feel an overwhelming pressure to succeed. The pressure that they feel from peers, school, and social media is so intense that 1 in 4 becomes suicidal. This could be avoided if they had better access to care, but 90% of school counseling centers can't keep up with the demand for appointments. Schools need an innovative way to help students cope with this pressure. Well, at Neoth, we're on a mission to help these students. Our technology makes it easy for them to manage stress by providing on-demand, personalized support. Neoth's personalization survey assesses students' health, and our algorithm recommends content tailored to their needs. Students use our self-guided content when it's convenient for them, and they get new, personalized content every month. Whether it's our relaxation practices like creative art and breathwork, or our video series, where clinicians and students talk about mental health to break down stigma, the students are completely engaged with their content on Neoth. They're spending over 200 minutes a month on our platform. And it's not just students who love Neoth, but schools too. Our admin platform sends data to school counselors about student engagement and health, so they can make informed decisions about students' care. There are over 70,000 high schools and universities in the US who can benefit from our solution. We sell directly to these schools who pay an upfront annual price per student. Before founding Neoth, I was a neuroscientist at a leading pediatric hospital, and Dr. Whaler, a university professor. We saw firsthand how big of a problem student mental health was, and we knew that by using technology, we could go from helping hundreds of students a year to helping millions. So we teamed up with Lucas and Florian, who have 25 years of experience in business and software development. I'm so proud of what my team has accomplished during Headstream. We established 144 ambassador chapters in schools across the country, where our student ambassadors are sharing Neoth with their peers and advocating for this program on campus. We also work with these students to co-develop our new community section, where clinicians and students come together to talk about mental health during our virtual events and our pre-recorded video series. Beyond building our student community, we've been working with schools. In our latest school implementation, 6% of the entire student body signed up for Neoth after a single email. Nearly 30% of these students are active every week, and we're already seeing the impact that our program has on these students' lives. During the Headstream program, we also raised $700,000 in Precede Funding. We launched our native apps, and we received some amazing press. But we're not stopping there. At Neoth, we're growing from helping thousands of students a year to helping the 40 million students who need our support today. Please get in touch if you'd like to join us on our mission. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Catherine. What a wonderful presentation. And now I'd like to call to the virtual stage, seat at the table, and Afia. So they are a community building platform. So Afia, whenever you are ready, you can share your screen and take it away.
Thank you, Danny. Peace, everyone. My name is Fee or Afia, and I am program manager at Global Nomads Group, and we are a global nonprofit virtual exchange organization, and our innovation is Seat at the Table. At Global Nomads Group, we are working to create a world where people have self-worth and dignity. We are clearly not there yet. So what's getting in the way? Is it just us, or is discrimination, hate, and violence on the rise, and sometimes led by our leaders and the people who are to protect us? News media continues to be skewed about specific groups of people or regions of the world, and isolation now more than ever is affecting people of all ages, but especially young people, and they are not being seen, heard, and known in the ways we know are valuable. So imagine a world where leaders make decisions from a place of awareness and understanding, not from fear and ignorance. Imagine a world where young people are able to stand up for what's right after having a conversation where they learn about the stories and experiences of other people. Well, enter Table, a global Gen Z platform and community for cross-cultural dialogue. In our app, we randomly match up to 6 young people in video conversations at the click of a button, where they navigate topics of interest with built-in facilitation. Ultimately, we are creating spaces for young people to engage with and better understand those who are different than them. Our current social media options, they don't always serve the purpose of authentic connections, and we know silos are created where we just keep seeing and being told the same things we already know and believe. So we have to disrupt these superficial social media patterns with a different offering that moves our young people outside of their comfort zones and allows them to get comfortable with people who live vastly different lives than them. We want them to engage with these people respectfully and authentically. We want them to feel empowered to be heard and known. But this experience is not about the Venn diagram of what we have in common, but it's more about how can we honor our differences as we work together and move forward in this world, and how can we get comfortable in that space. Seat at the Table welcomes all identities from all corners of the world into this transformative experience. And here's what we already know about young people. They are aware and well-informed. They are confident about their power to create change, and they are looking for the spaces to get involved and have their voices heard. So our solution is meeting them online, on their phones, and with instant gratifications, which is shaking them up from their typical social media silos, but giving them access to diverse perspectives in a way that is familiar. So we have welcomed over 1,000 young people into our community from over 100 countries. Since the birth of this idea, over 600 seats have been taken, and in the last year alone, we've hosted over 100 conversations. 97% of our users say that they would recommend Seat at the Table to a friend. And we've recently launched our community space for continued engagement, and our app has moved into closed beta. And this is where you can come in. We want to partner with you and your schools and your organizations and your clubs. We want thousands of young people in our app every month because there are millions in the world. And how might we make our world a closer, more united place simply with a cross-cultural conversation? Here, it's not about the likes or number of views, but it's about the authentic connections that you can make and how these connections can make us better as people and as a world. I truly look forward to connecting with you. I can talk about Seat at the Table all day. Come see me in the breakout room. I'm so grateful for your time and your ears. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, Fee. That was wonderful. Now I would like to bring our third innovator to the virtual stage. That is Ivy with Evermore. They are using social tech and empathy AI. So whenever you feel ready, Ivy, you can share your screen and take it away.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ivy Mashao. I'm the founder and CEO of Evermore. Very excited to be here with y'all. It's such an amazing time to be surrounded by synergistic people. So at Evermore, we're tackling the single biggest issue with growing up in the digital age, and that is self-knowledge in the midst of over-information. How are we doing that? And it's not another Clubhouse, Siri, or niche social network. We've created a voice plus social learning companion to help Gen Z deal with life skillfully by inviting them to embark on a heroic journey. And what we have done is that we've heard, and it turns out that most young people want to answer that call because we're already at 30K users strong, 160K in AR, and we're aiming to support the underserved community. The social dilemma has reminded us, and there might be a couple more episodes like that in the future, that we're still trapped in old school social networks and low monologues with chatbots. All these social and therapeutic technologies inadvertently stunt core competency and growth because they provide zero context about real life. And they kind of hijack the personal narrative. This is a much more dire situation that we really need to handle post-COVID because it's more than learning loss. I know we all hear a lot about that these days. It's loss of confidence, self-worth, healthy perspectives, and a grasp on life that's beneficial for not just learner success, but life success. However, we're swimming in tech that doesn't really answer those fundamental needs. The most striking and underestimated power for AI, and you guys are looking at a smattering of AI products out there, is that tech natives don't have access to the kind that's truly beneficial for their growth in the long run. We're changing that by giving them an AI companion that they can talk to and train to help them connect the dots and make growing up rewarding. This resonates with young people because there has been a deep desire for talking things out, again, agency and perspective. And I'm sure the parents and educators in here today can agree that the most important report card we should really care about is about our well-being and the transferable core skills that we all need to carry us through life. Our edge is using emotion AI that distills live context in best class user experience that doesn't pigeonhole your emotional states or diminish the joy of intentional learning. No boring chatbots, nagging behavior change notifications, therapy stigma, or more FOMO. And this is the platform today. For tech-savvy Gen Zs who are super picky about whose advice they take, to go on a quest for self-knowledge and core skills development, because they all understand the power of personal mastery over superficial things like friends, likes, and followers. We've integrated mastery-based learning science and trauma-informed therapeutic frameworks to let them just simply talk things out, see patterns in their thoughts and interactions, get unstuck, and build their own personal mastery. And the team that has been executing on all of these amazing progress in impact-driven research and development is a potent mix of digital health, inclusive product design. I myself come from a 15+ year background in consumer behavioral health and product management. And the rest of my team is the perfect blend of risk management, psychology, and complexity science, community building, and generative data science. Our go-to-market has been proven a fit as a mind tech for direct-to-consumer and wellness SaaS for many growth verticals activated by future of learning and work. We're currently raising a pre-seed round of 800K and already reached 25% of that ask from a successful equity crowd investing partnership with WeFunder. We've already been hitting goals on this very exciting roadmap for the next 18 months, which includes onboarding schools in higher ed, expanding our product R&D capacity to integrate with the voice AI ecosystem, and breaking through traditional metrics to pay off on what inclusive betterment could mean for everyone. Because we know that when people have the know-how to develop their personal values, they're empowered to create their own narrative and do well in life. I'm excited to connect with you later to jumpstart conversations that will become the next exciting phase of when we can combine mind science with technology without judgment and stigma. Thank you.
And thank you so much, Ivy. That was Evermore. So next, our fourth innovator, if I can call Enlight to the stage, and Dieu merci. They are an EdTech product engaging both teachers and students in new ways. So Dieu merci, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Hi, my name is Dieu merci Cristal, and as you know, 88% of Americans say that they had a teacher who had a significant impact in their lives. So today, I would like you to imagine the most engaging teacher you've ever had. What made this teacher special? So again, my name is Diem, and I'm the founder of Enlight. And when I was 13 years old, I immigrated to America from a refugee camp, hoping for a better life and education. I was so excited about the opportunity to learn from the best schools in the world, imagining these crazy innovative schools where I could explore all the questions that kept me so curious. But when I started attending school, it felt like it wasn't really the case. School was demotivating and it was boring. And as I felt like it was this daycare center where I went to hang out with my friends. So I felt like there had to be something different. And so I got very curious. And what I found out is that the lack of student engagement coupled with high teacher burnout was actually resulting in bad educational environments in the US. 75% of students are bored, and 70% of their teachers are not engaged at all. And so teacher turnover and truancy cost schools about $10 billion a year. And we know as schools continue to struggle with engagement that the teachers stay when they're happy and have a positive experience with their students. And students, we long for teachers who actually care about our future and well-being. And that is why we built Enlight. We're a simple, yet powerful platform that delivers student data in a way that is actionable for teachers and ultimately engaging for students. So as you can see, we capture student profiles, so we grab students' interests, passions, and needs, and then we turn this information into visual profiles for teachers to better understand their students. In addition, our Enlight polls gives teachers the immediate access to relevant data to allow them to make data-driven decisions that can actually improve student learning and engagement. We currently have a 300 teacher waitlist, and it's growing. And this literally started from one teacher who was my high school teacher, and he started telling everyone about it, and we've been growing very, very organically. For our current users, the ones who started using our platform, about 70% of their students were reporting that they're actually feeling heard and seen. And for the teachers who are already doing this, and as you guys remember, those little note cards on the first day of schools, they love one place where they can literally give students a voice and a platform. We believe that every child deserves a mentor, whether it's a teacher, a coach, or a guide. And so we're building this tool for them so they can connect to our youth and also unlock their gifts. With the right partners, our goal is to grow our user base to about 5,000 users this year. And if you're a teacher, if you're a parent, or an investor, come through to learn more about us in our booth. And our team is also constituted as teachers and students. So thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Dieu merci. And so now we have our fifth innovator and our last innovation in this group before we go into breakout rooms. I'd love to call Lesson B to the virtual stage and have Riva explain a little bit more about how we're re-envisioning health education. So whenever you're ready, Riva, take it away.
Thanks, Danny, and thanks for having me. I'm really excited to discuss Lesson B with all of you. My name is Riva McPaul, and I'm the founder and CEO of Lesson B. And we're building content and technology at the intersection of mental health, education, and social justice to transform the health class experience for millions of kids and teens across the country. I have 17 years of experience working across digital media, digital marketing and digital learning, an advanced degree in instructional technology and media from Columbia University, and more than a decade of experience as a digital learning executive working across K-12, higher ed, and workplace learning. And I've witnessed increasing modernization in core academic subjects and in workplace learning. But I also noticed that one subject hadn't changed, and that was the health class. This is something that stood out to me because when I was a kid, I faced mental health challenges. I struggled to feel healthy and connected. I struggled with feelings of alienation and low self-esteem, both in and out of school. And since establishing Lesson B, I've learned that my story isn't unique. In fact, today, the health challenges faced by young people are more complex than ever before. And last year, 80% of young Americans reported depressive feelings as a result of the global health pandemic. Experts say there is no return to normal, that this pandemic may end, but the trauma, it'll be felt for years to come. And this is a problem that has a multi-billion-dollar impact on our economy. Widespread anxiety and depression, distrust of the medical institution that leads certain populations to avoid vaccination. These are just a few symptoms of insufficient knowledge, skills, and values to nurture individual, family, and community health. So while other solutions are focused on treatment for these issues, Lesson B is focused on prevention through comprehensive, culturally responsive, and adaptive school-based health education delivered asynchronously online. And to date, thousands of students have used Lesson B and said it helps them prioritize their mental health and feel more confident in making healthy choices. Lesson B teaches learners to manage their health and make responsible choices through interactive lessons and assessments. We use design adaptivity and conversational learning to create culturally responsive content that promotes empathy, diversity, and social emotional skills. We engage learners via digital experiences that mirror social media, mobile messaging, visual novels, and mobile gaming environments. With Lesson B, users choose their own adventure and interact with simulated characters in a safe and private environment and have the ability to track, self-assess, and validate their health skills along the way. We're bridging the gap in online mental health services in a combined $60 billion ed tech and telehealth market. While some solutions are designed for relatively affluent adults who already have the skills needed to make therapy work for them, Lesson B addresses the other side of this equation, youth who may or may not be ready to speak with an adult and don't yet have the knowledge and skills to make therapy effective. And while even more solutions focus on general health information or meditation and don't meet the needs of school districts for standards alignment, interactivity, and assessment, our mental health content is embedded within comprehensive health education curriculum that addresses nutrition, physical health, sexual health, reproductive health, safety, and mental health education, meeting local and national health education requirements. Our proprietary software as a service technology eliminates the black box of traditional health education by providing unparalleled transparency and data analytics. And our curriculum is already approved in New York and Illinois. And we're currently in the statewide adoption process in Texas. So we're targeting 1 million active users by year end via partnerships with leading educational technology providers like PowerSchool, government agencies like LA Department of Mental Health and New York City Department of Education, Office of School Wellness Programs. And we have flagship customers, including charter networks such as Uncommon Schools, Achievement First, and Pioneer Charter School of Science. We have amazing tailwinds as a result of COVID-19 and a foothold in the largest school districts in the country. So I look forward to seeing some of you in the breakout and answering any questions that you have. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Riva. And thank you to our first group of innovators for presenting. I've had the privilege of working with them over the past 5 months, but now is your chance to actually get the ability to talk with them in more intimate groups. So if you bear with me for just 1 second, I am going to share my screen and I'm going to tell you all about how we can break out into groups and how you can get to know these innovators a little bit better. So you have just seen 5 incredible innovators present. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you an opportunity to speak with them in breakout rooms. And so how's this going to work? Well, we're going to move all of you, the participants, into a breakout room called the Headstream lobby. And from there, you will actually have the ability to choose which innovator you would like to speak to. So all of the breakout rooms will be renamed with the innovation. And after that, we will also give you a 1-minute warning before we come back into the main room. And then we debut our second group of innovators. And if you want to know how this works from a screenshot perspective, we decided to break it down into some pretty easy steps. So once we break you out into rooms, you'll go to the breakout room button. And once you click on it, you'll get to choose your breakout room. Then a box will appear with all the names of the innovations that you can actually choose from. For example, if I wanted to go to lesson B first, I could click on lesson B, then drag my cursor over to the join button and click join. And then afterwards, I'm going to push yes. You do have the ability to join multiple rooms. So after you ask a few questions, if you want to maybe get some time in with some other innovators, you just go back up, click the breakout room, and start that process 1 through 3 all over again. Now, the fourth step is just to be mindful that when you decide to leave a breakout room and go and interact with some other innovators, make sure to click that leave breakout room button and not leave meeting button. And so if all of that sounds, if all of that sounds super confusing and you're not sure you have the technical capability of doing that, that's okay. When we break you out into rooms, just stay put into the main room and my colleague Marie will help troubleshoot with you. And I will also be on standby in the Headstream lobby to help troubleshoot. So no matter what, whether you do it on your own or whether you need some help from Headstream, we'll make sure that you're able to interact with those innovators. So if we're ready to go, we're going to break you out into rooms and we'll give you a few warnings before we come back into the main session. But we'll see you in about 15 minutes, everyone. Enjoy. I'm Danny, the program manager at Headstream, and we are now going to start the second half of the Headstream Innovator demo session. So you just heard from one group of innovators. Now we are going to hear from our second group of Headstream innovators. And then once again, we're going to break you all out into rooms so you can interact with them and get a chance to ask some questions. And last but not least, if you didn't get a chance to interact with all of the innovators that you wanted to the first time around, we have a little digital way for you to do that. So if you click on the link in the box, you can also provide some feedback to our innovators that way. But with that in mind, I would love to call Violet and Garang to the stage, and you will have the opportunity to present your screen and give your pitch. So Garang, whenever you're ready, you can take it away.
Sounds great. Thanks, Danny. Hi, everyone. My name is Garang, and I'm the founder of Violet. Prior to building Violet, I spent a few years working at Oscar Health, which was a health insurance company built from the ground up. Really excited to share my team as well. So Kay and Kevin, I met while building Oscar Health. All of us are LGBT, so we spent a lot of time talking about LGBT healthcare and how to improve access to care. And then John and Aspen are recent hires to the Violet team, but they also are a part of the LGBT community and are excited about making healthcare more equal. And collectively, we're really focused on improving healthcare for underserved families and really any underserved individual. While building an insurance company, we saw a lot of patients that would come to us looking for help navigating the convoluted healthcare system and finding doctors that were culturally competent. And what we found was, as an insurance company, we still didn't have the answer that people were really looking for. And this is something that I've personally struggled with my whole life. Even last year, I went to a primary care doctor where I asked for a specific medication that's really recommended for gay men called PrEP. And the specific provider didn't know what PrEP was. And to me, that was a really strong indicator of that's what cultural incompetence looks like, where it was a phenomenal physician, just simply not a good physician for me as a gay man. And with cultural minorities or underserved populations representing more than 50% of the US population by 2045, we really do believe that now is the time to improve healthcare. And there's two ways to really fix healthcare. We see one way as creating custom doctor groups and custom brands. So all of the Brightlines and other communities like the folks in TIA of the world, they're fixing culturally incompetent healthcare by creating custom brands. And that does fix the problem, but unfortunately, those aren't accessible to a lot of people, meaning they're not accessible to people on Medicaid or Medicare. And so what we're really doing is using data to solve the problem, which is our platform looks at all doctors and seeks to understand exactly what cultural competencies they possess. And so colloquially, we've been calling ourselves the Credit Agency of Cultural Competencies. We really are a platform where we work with providers to understand the communities they're best suited to serve. And then we sell those badges to actually enable insurance companies to help them do their job better. I'm also really excited to share that Northwell Health, the largest hospital system in the state of New York, is our first customer, and they're also coming on as an investor as well. And so really the meat and potatoes of our product is what is an objective framework of understanding what makes a doctor culturally competent. And our team really has 4 pillars of information. So the main components or considerations we have are lived experience of each physician, what patients they've worked with, meaning we want to know if they've worked with community centers or centers of excellence, what training and education they've received as a clinician over a long period of time, and then finally, what communities are they really interested in? Meaning we give them a voice and ask them what communities would they like to work more with. Collectively, all of this information goes into our calculator, and then the outcome is either the provider has a badge, meaning they are one of the best physicians for that specific patient population, or if they have room for growth, we connect them with relevant education and training to help them improve their understanding. And so our platform has monetized both sides of our product. We are a healthcare infrastructure platform, so we're a B2B product, but we go to provider organizations and give them 2 value. One is we help them understand their doctors better, and 2, they have a unique acquisition opportunity to compete in a really verticalized manner. And then on the other side of the platform, we take the badges, or to continue my credit agency analogy, the credit score equivalent, and we service that to third parties like ZocDocs of the world or insurance companies like the Oscars and Cignas, which enables them to do their job better, either through better acquisition or for insurance companies reducing their costs. And so we're really excited to make culturally competent healthcare the norm in healthcare, and we hope you join us on our journey.
Wow, thank you so much, Grang. And that was Violet. Next, I'd like to bring to the virtual stage Helium and Sarah. They are bringing AR and VR to reimagine mental health. So Sarah, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Sorry about that, had to unmute myself. It's great to see everyone here. Thank you for the time and appreciate you giving us the opportunity to share. I'm Sarah Hill, I'm the CEO of Helium. My background is in television journalism, actually covered a lot of trauma, developed Helium for me, as well as the millions of people who struggle with anxiety. It's mental fitness powered by your body's electricity, clinically validated to reduce anxiety, improve mood in as little as 4 minutes. So this is Crystal. She's a Helium customer. She wanted something to help her escape her stress, as this is the Stress Olympics right now, and not everyone has trained for it. In the wake of COVID, suicidal ideation is now in 25% of people ages 18 to 24. We call that the youth and young adult generation. But the issue with that is, how can you learn to control your stress if you can't see it or interact with it? And that's what makes Helium unique. It's a media channel, an engaging media channel powered by biometric data from any wearable. It boosts your calm and your focus in as little as 4 minutes. So wearable agnostic, you can plug in an Apple Watch. If you lower your heart rate, then these butterflies hatch out of an augmented reality chrysalis and fly around the room. Or with an EEG brain sensing headband. Our product is the software, again, not the wearables, plug in any wearable. That glowing light that you see in the center of the screen, that's the fast activity in your brain, and your mind is actually powering this. So the more you increase your focused calm, the more those orbs of light will move through you. It's teaching the user to learn to self-regulate their brain patterns And then also create a stored memory of something beautiful that you can go back into, moving out of the darkness and into the light. It's validated in 4 peer-reviewed journals. We have 7 million views on our platform, more than $1 million in revenue. That's the fast activity or the stress activity in the brain immediately before helium, and then just 4 minutes after. We're involved in a dozen different trials around the world right now with GSK Pharma, Mayo Clinic, Procter & Gamble, as well as the NIH. Our apps are on the stores right now, so you can download them on iOS, on Android, or on Oculus. And this is a look at our pricing model from free. And then if you plug in those wearables, it goes up, and it's also used with wellness practitioners as well. You get a data dashboard. You can track your progress over time. It's not just a product, it's also valuable IP that allows you to change the color, the texture, the shape of a virtual augmented or mixed reality asset with a biometric input. So as you quiet your mind, you can change the colors on that jaguar's stress animal and also change its movements. It starts in a pounce position. It mimics your body's brain patterns and heart rate. As you soften, it sits down right next to you and starts to lick its paw. Again, allowing you to see your stress so in an engaging way so you can learn to control it. Wondering if I'm doing it right. It gives you a helium score, a stress resilience score that you track those brain patterns over time. So to wrap up here, why helium? We have more than $1 million in revenue, and we have 4 peer-reviewed journals showing that it works, and we have broad, valuable IP. And for Crystal, yes, for these youth and young adults, this is the Stress Olympics, but fortunately she has helium, so she's trained for it. And she knows that her thoughts have power to control things, not only in the virtual world, but the real world as well. And we have an open $2 million seed round. We have more than 400,000 already committed or closed. Our last round was oversubscribed by about 300,000, and we're hoping for similar success into this round. So to wrap up here, we're Helium, mental fitness for a new reality. And I would welcome a conversation about our research in the breakout rooms, or to talk to you about how your enterprise could use it with your wellness practitioners, your schools, or your access to your youth and young adults.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Sarah. How interesting. Next up, I'd like to call to the virtual stage Liminal Esports and Grace. They are redefining education in the esports arena. And so whenever you are ready, Grace, you can take it away and share a little bit more about Liminal Esports.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Grace Collins. I use they, them pronouns, and I am the co-founder of Liminal Esports. We are a multifaceted business focused on games, education, and research. We were founded in 2019 by myself, an Obama-era policy expert that previously led games and education initiatives across the executive branch, as well as my co-founder, Nika Noor, who is a 2021 Forbes 30 Under 30 and former head of public affairs for the Entertainment Software Association. By combining Nika's deep connections to the video game industry and my own expertise in education and federal policy, we built our startup to address some of the nation's greatest challenges. So one challenge is persistent gender-based inequity in STEM education. STEM here means the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math. As you can see, over the past 10 years, the number of women graduating with STEM degrees from US universities has actually fallen compared to men. Every year, more than 250,000 more men graduate with STEM degrees in the US than do women. And this is despite a majority of college and graduate students being women. And worse yet, these numbers, which are from the US Department of Education, do not track non-binary students at all. As a society, we simply don't know if non-binary students have equal access and opportunity to STEM education. This is a problem. And it's one that parents of students care about a lot. A recent research study found that 93% of parents, basically all of them, of K-12 students believe that STEM education should be a priority for the nation. And over 50% of those parents want their own child to pursue a STEM career. Many of these parents recognize that male students are more likely to pursue STEM because they have, quote, always enjoyed games that are focused on STEM, games that have largely been designed specifically for them. But games can provide a unique pathway into STEM fields, into community support, and into a feeling of belonging for students who typically fall through the cracks. I've seen this myself up close during my work in the Obama administration and as a former teacher at an all-girls school. So at Liminal, we're working to address this need through our game studio, Snowbright. Our creative team at Snowbright Studio has been hard at work creating new types of learning games, all designed from the start with the needs and wellness of girls and gender diverse youth in mind. You can see some examples from 3 of our upcoming titles here. These 2 80s cats, Ari and Zoe, teach game design and programming. Ari also represents the first ever canonically non-binary character in a learning game because role modeling matters. This Hop Top Wizard here teaches environmental science with a particular focus on supporting girls with ADHD. And these feisty tiny sprites teach artificial intelligence without the need to learn coding because AI literacy is a rapidly growing public policy crisis. But today I actually want to tell you about our newest project, Playful EDU. It's a new subscription service that lets parents use games to connect with their children and to inspire them on a pathway towards STEM education. When we launch in July, our subscription service will provide monthly game licenses, both from our game catalog and from some of the world's best video game developers, both big and small. Along with these licenses, parents will receive ready-to-go activities, lessons, videos, and tech support to help them become games and education experts. Playful EDU leverages our deep connections to the video game industry and the expertise of our team, which includes former U.S. Department of Education professionals and Smithsonian Institution education and research experts. Research because it's at the heart of what we do and guides the targeted content that we develop. Subscribers receive monthly game licenses, lesson plans, videos, activities, and tech support to quickly get up and running. The lessons are standards aligned to academic content and integrate social emotional learning and wellness. And we're just honestly excited to support parents and teachers everywhere by providing them with the opportunity to play, learn, and connect with their children over STEM content and 21st century skills. This is the playful pathway that will help solve America's gendered STEM gap. As we prepare for launch, Liminal Esports would be excited to partner with organizations to increase access to the Playful EDU service and to share partner content through our platform. Thanks so much for your time and for your support.
And thank you, Grace. That was wonderful. So next up, we have our 4th innovator and innovation. Can I please call Tony and Weird Enough Productions to the virtual stage? And whenever you share your screen, take it away.
Hello, friends. My name is Tony Weaver Jr., and I am really excited to be spending time with you all today, telling you about my organization and our innovation. So my name is Tony Weaver Jr., and I am Executive Director, Weirdo in Chief at an organization called Weird Enough Productions. And at Weird Enough, what we do is we use superheroes and comic books for literacy and social emotional learning in elementary, middle, and high schools around the country. Dealing with a little technical difficulty here. Anyway, at Weird Enough, we're a social impact organization, and we're really focused on leveraging the power that diverse media has to support young people and the adults that want to empower the young people in their lives. I found it weird enough as a first-year student at Elon University in North Carolina as a result of an experience that I had during one of my classes. While volunteering at a local elementary school, I mentored a 4th grade student who, despite the fact that they were supposed to be having conversations with me about school-related things, insisted on talking to me about cartoons. Now, at the time, I didn't show up with a background as colorful as this one. However, I'm assuming that he just knew that I had opinions on cartoons and that he wanted to share them with me. So what was supposed to be a year of tutoring turned into a year of stress relief for this student because, according to him, he didn't have a lot of people that looked like him to talk to about this sort of stuff. Halloween was approaching, and when I asked him if he'd be dressing as his favorite hero for Halloween, he told me, I can't because I don't look like him. I'm going to dress as CJ from Grand Theft Auto. Because as a young Black student in the 4th grade, when he had to think about who can I be, he thought of the main character of a video game where you kill people, steal things, and run away from police. And that experience with him had a very profound impact on me because when I looked at him, I thought about myself in middle school, attempting to end my own life due to racism and bullying from both my teachers and my peers. My experience with that student showed me that the problem that I thought was individual was actually institutional. So I went and started doing some research, and what I found was staggering. So currently, suicide and depression rates for young people are the highest they've been in the last 20 years. Even though they're exposed to technology and media content over 12 hours a day, 70% of them lack the civic reasoning and digital citizenship skills required in order to engage with these tools in a way that isn't negatively impacting their mental health. So my thought was this: during my dark time, the thing that brought me out was pop culture. manga, anime, video games? What if I could take the same things that help me out of my dark place and partner it with Common Core curricula to support students in their dark times as well? And the result was our program, Get Media Lit. So as an organization, we use the transformative power of graphic novels to improve students' social emotional wellness, digital citizenship, and literacy skills. And we also partner with brands and organizations to bring youth engagement to platforms where students already are. So on our platform, Get Media Lit, we've engaged about 2 million students, and we're working with about 400,000 students directly in classrooms. And we've also partnered with organizations like Facebook, Instagram, Samsung, as well as sports teams like the Charlotte Hornets. And we've really been able to build a network of over 1 million comic readers, a national network of schools, as well as after-school program partners to drive impact in student hearts and minds. The LIT in our program is an acronym for Learn, Inquire, Transform. So in Learn Lessons, we teach students how to love themselves and learn more about their identities and who they are. In Inquire Lessons, we give students critical thinking skills so that they can leverage media literacy and digital citizenship in order to engage with the technology that they're already spending time on in a more healthy way. And in Transform Lessons, we help students identify their own inner strengths so that they can support and change their communities in ways that only they can. And all the students that we've worked with our values-aligned curricula and content, over 90% of them have demonstrated improvements in their mental health and their digital citizenship skills. We've grown to a point where we have a cross-platform social reach of over 4 million. And because of our work, we've been featured in places like the Forbes 30 Under 30, the Huffington Post, NBC News. And most recently, we just got a partnership with Gucci that is so new that I have not had time to add it to our slide deck. So, like I said, my name is Tony Weaver Jr. I run an organization called Weird Enough Productions. And what we really want to do is leverage the power of media to show every young person that as long as you pursue your personal truth, you're never too weird. You're just weird enough. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony, making us all feel a little better being weird. Love it. Okay, now what I'd like to do is I'd like to bring our final innovator to the virtual stage. We have Movement Genius and Allison, so they are helping us re-engage with our bodies in new ways. So Allison and Movement Genius, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Hey everyone. So Movement Genius is a digital wellness platform that provides non-athletic movement classes to help youth improve mental, emotional, and physical well-being. We are Headspace for the body. Are you stressed from a math exam and you want to refocus at your desk? Do you need to reconnect to your body after scrolling for 3 hours straight? Maybe you broke up with your girlfriend and you just need some self-care. Well, Movement Genius can meet you where you are. So hello, I'm Allison. I have 20 years in media and entertainment, leveraging storytelling for social impact and personal development. And my co-founder, Corey, has 15 years building meaningful media companies through innovative revenue models and implementing sustainable solutions to break systemic poverty in the American foster youth population. Also, we're siblings. Last summer, over 150,000 people tuned into our live series of mindful movement classes, with thousands asking for more content and a community to connect with. So here's what we learned. For young people, sometimes talk therapy is not accessible or it's not enough. Teens often turn to media and music to cope with their increasing levels of stress and anxiety and depression. So Movement Genius meets them where they are and offers a chance to reconnect their mind and body, improve their mood, and feel confident in who they are, all identities and abilities included. We have live and on-demand classes that connect to the practical needs and schedules of young people while integrating somatic principles to ensure the classes have therapeutic benefits and are fun and fulfilling. So here's a brief company roadmap. So we launched in December, and we developed a framework for user engagement and tested UX. After we delved into research, building our brand identity and queuing social feeds with Gen Z advisors so we can open beta access this summer. We just wrapped production on 50 videos in 7 days to create our founding faculty movement library. And when we launch, Youth will pay $4.99 per month for unlimited class access, as well as community connections and live group classes. They can also pay a discounted annual fee, so it's a really great gift for young people going off to college. Let's talk about our founding faculty and classes. Our instructors and movers span a range of identities, abilities, and disabilities and movement traditions. Ray is leading our moving meditations, where you can simply mirror his steady, purposeful movement. Monique guides our games, which are fun, creative movement prompts. Natalia teaches yoga for all bodies in English and Spanish. Wes leads mindful fitness, which is adaptive for wheelchair users and people with limited mobility. We have a series at your desk, so you can do it from the comfort of your chair, affirmation dance workouts, daily 5-minute resets, and more. So if you would like to join the waitlist, you can do so right now at movementgenius.com. It's at 300 people without a single promo. And if you'd like to further support and chat, here's what we need moving forward. We're currently looking for investment partners to raise $650,000 this year in 2021. We're also seeking 3 advisors who have experience in innovative brand building, inclusive design, revenue development, and clinical research and impact. So Movement Genius is thrilled to normalize non-athletic movement to improve mental health by making it accessible, affordable, and fun for young people. If you want to talk about stressing less and feeling energized, getting better sleep, loving who you are, and not feeling so ugh after sitting all this time, come join us in the breakout room to chat. Thanks so much. Peace and love.
Wow, thank you so much, Allison. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely feeling like I want to move a little bit. And thank you so much to all of our innovators. I hate to brag, but you guys are all the best. So now you all participants get the chance to actually interact with this group of innovators as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to go through the instructions just in case we have some newcomers. So what we're going to do now is you should be able to see my screen. We've got 5 innovators that you'll be able to break out and speak with them in smaller groups. What we'll first do is move you all to the Headstream lobby, where I'll be posted to help troubleshoot any issues, but you will have the ability to self-select your own breakout rooms. And if you have any technical difficulties at all, you can also just stay in the main room where we are right now, and my colleague Marie will help you out. So once again, in order to choose your own breakout room, once you move over into the Headstream lobby, you can click on the breakout room, which is in your little control panel with Zoom. Choose the breakout room that you want. You can click on that room and then drag your cursor over to the join button, click yes, and you can repeat these steps if you want to speak or connect with a few different innovators. And just a note at the bottom, make sure when you are switching rooms that you're not leaving the meeting, you're only leaving the breakout room. So with that in mind, are we ready? If so, we're going to break you out into rooms and we'll see you back in the main session in about 15 minutes. So enjoy your time, everyone, and thanks so much. Welcome back. Thank you so much to our innovators. Can we all give them a little virtual round of applause for doing such a great job pitching? I'm so proud of all of them. And we've really had such a wonderful time in this accelerator cohort. It's been an intensive virtual 5 months of learning, but as you all have seen, these innovators are truly reaching millions of young people, and we could not be prouder of them. So we hope that you had a chance to interact with them, to ask some questions, but we also know that virtual conferences are still interesting places to navigate, especially when it comes to networking. So one more plug, if you have any feedback that you'd like to put, I put a little chat in the chat, a little URL, so you can provide some feedback. And then also we've got a few other sessions in place where you can actually see our innovators once again. So if you bear with me, I will share my screen for the final time. And you'll see that actually we've got an innovator thematic session with our EdTech innovators. We also have another thematic session with our digital health and wellness innovators, and then a final thematic session with our innovators who are creating connection and community building. So if you do have any questions, this will be a more intimate session where we'll get to hear from our innovators firsthand about their experience in the industry and truly cultivating new digital solutions for young people. And also bring your questions. So if you weren't able to ask a question to one of our innovators now, you'll have an opportunity to do that soon. So if you are also curious about how to get in touch with these innovators, you can go to the Attendify page and you'll see their speaker bio. You also have the ability to join our next set of sessions. So with that in mind, we can all take a big deep breath in, a deep breath out. And thank you all for joining us for the Innovator demo session. And now we welcome you to join the rest of our sessions throughout the day. So have a great day, everyone. And thanks again so much for joining us.